Artem Lobov provides an update on his court case against Conor McGregor. Artem posted a recent news report regarding the matter to his Instagram.
Mixed martial arts fighter Conor McGregor has 12 weeks to disclose how much he received from the sale of a whiskey brand in 2021 as part of a High Court action by his former sparring partner Artem Lobov. Lawyers for Mr. Lobov successfully argued for an order for discovery of certain documents as part of an action aimed at enforcing what he claims was an agreement between the men on the proceeds of the sale.
Artem Lobov was at the High Court in Dublin today seeking access to documents he says are essential to progress his legal action against his former friend and sparring partner Conor McGregor. The retired Russian fighter claims he was a co-founder of the concept to produce an Irish whiskey with McGregor and that he was due a 5% share of the proceeds from the multi-million-dollar sale of the Proper 12 brand. Lawyers for McGregor opposed the application, saying it was too wide-ranging and could include commercially sensitive information. McGregor is reputed to have earned well in excess of $100 million for the sale of his share in the whiskey brand. He had offered Lobov almost €1 million and denies they had any other agreement. In a sworn statement, Lobov's solicitor Dermot McNamara said the disclosure of the documents was relevant and necessary. He claimed McGregor had undervalued the share of the sale his client was entitled to and had concealed relevant information. Today, the Deputy Master of the High Court directed that McGregor disclose some documents, including those detailing his earnings from the sale and any records relating to any interest he had in the brand. Outside court, Lobov welcomed today's development.
I'm delighted with the decision today and look forward to receiving the documents and having my day in court.
Conor McGregor now has 12 weeks to disclose the information. The case will be heard in full at a later date. Vivian Traynor, RTV News.
Chris Curtis says that he'd be willing to fight Sean Strickland. Even though the two are best friends and training partners, Curtis says he'd be down to fight and get paid for it.
I know you're happy to just collect checks and have fun fights, things like that. That kind of worked out well for Sean. Do you see yourself, maybe just accidentally falling into a title shot someday?
Can I fight Sean?
Would you want to?
Yeah, dude, he tries to kill me for free. I might as well collect a big check for it. Guys, understand that we are real. He's like a brother to me. But he's also tried to murder me in practice. He's tried to murder me outside of practice. We've been kicked out of 3 gyms for fist fighting each other. So it's gonna happen regardless. I might as well get paid. So yeah, I would fight Sean in a heartbeat. He would try to kill me too. It's fine. But if he wins, he probably would win. Huge. And I wake up, I'm still way richer than I was. So screw it. At this point, I'm just trying to fight things and get paid.
Recently, Ariel Helwani reported that UFC Saudi Arabia was postponed because the card wasn't good enough. Dana White has responded to this. It says that anybody who reported that is a f***ing liar.
Speaking of June in Saudi Arabia, I can tell you exclusively here on the show that I'm being told via sources that the planned March 2nd UFC event in Saudi Arabia is being postponed and the target is June. I was told that the reason for the postponement is because they just want, the powers that be in Saudi Arabia want a, how should we put it, they want a more entertaining fight card. They want a deeper fight card with bigger names on it. Weren't too pleased with what was being offered. And so it is being, at this point, moved to later in the year, June. And the moment I heard about this, made me think of the post from Islam Makhachev last week who said June 8th pay-per-view. Remember I said he didn't just pull that out of his hat. He must have known something. And so that makes all the sense in the world. Islam Makhachev fighting in Saudi Arabia on June 8th, potentially against the Justin Gaethje. Saudi Arabia was never going to accept a lesser card to what Abu Dhabi is getting or anyone else is getting. Just look at what they're doing in the world of boxing. And so I always found it a little bit surprising that it was just being billed as a fight night. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a pay-per-view. That part I don't know, and the Islam part I don't know. I'm just trying to put the pieces together. But what I do know is the March 2nd card looking like it's not going to happen on March 2nd, and this back-to-back stretch of fights that I talked about from the 17th to the 8th looks like there might be an opening there, and it will happen later on, potentially in the year, in June.
Total bullshit. That's a straight out lie. I don't know who started it or how it started, but not one fight was announced to Saudi. Not one fight was announced to them. I called and asked to push the card back. Because we had a couple of guys that we want on the card, and they weren't ready. So, listen, you know how we are. We want to deliver. And if we're going to Saudi Arabia at the level that these guys do things, and it's a fight night, but we want to make it the best fight night we've ever done. So, anybody who came out and said it was because the card wasn't good is a
It looks like Sean Strickland and Dricus Du Plessis are not so cool anymore. Sean posted this to his Instagram today. He wrote, "I didn't take the coward's way out and tell the doctor I couldn't see and got a no contest. The only reason why you took a round from me is because I couldn't see. I won that fight. The world knows I won that fight. The belt they gave you will never make you a champion. Enjoy." They had to stitch through muscle to get it closed. Thank you to everyone. Your support has really kept my head up high throughout all of this. Grateful forever. Dricus left a comment. He wrote, "Why don't you cry about it?" Again. Dricus also responded to both Ian Gary and Alex Bejeda yesterday. Yesterday, Alex posted this to his Instagram, teasing a potential move to middleweight. Dricus fired back saying, "I dare you. Would be an honor sharing the cage with you." On to Ian Gary. Ian posted this video to his Instagram, which still has comments disabled, by the way.
Watching the highlights of the Sean Strickland and Du Plessis fight, because I hope Sean gets sparked and conscious. There is no way I ever would have bet against Du Plessis losing this fight, considering he mauled Robert Whittaker. And Sean Strickland isn't half the fighter Robert Whittaker is. Just sloppy boxing. Look, swinging. Look at this. The f***ing state of this. Zero technique, just slugging it out now. Oh my god, I feel like I'm watching two amateurs fight. Oh my god. Oh my dear Jesus Christ. If I ever have a fight like that, please tell me to retire. Yeah. There you go. You, Sean Strickland. Now that fight's even more available, Chris.
Dricus reposted the quote, saying, "If I ever have a fight like that, please tell me to retire." Dricus said, "Don't worry, you never will." And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from Zach H420. It says, "When Alex's friends get beat, he puts on the gloves and goes to work to avenge their loss. He's the type of guy we all would be lucky to call a friend." The second one says, "The hand on the mat rule is so BS. Only rewards grapplers who fail takedowns and allow them to cheat the system." And the final one says, "Alex wants revenge for Sean and Glover." Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.